Are we ready, folks?
Okay. The Huffington Post conducted and continues to conduct a survey or poll asking its audience whether or not they consider themselves feminists. In the findings, they found so far that 6% consider themselves strong feminists, while 14% say that they're normal feminists. 5% claim to be anti-feminist, 3% claim to be strongly anti-feminist, 8% aren't sure, and 64% said that they're neither. And that confused me because I don't understand how someone could not have a stance on feminism. And so what I did was I kind of like walked around the COD and just kind of went up to people and asked them, well, do you consider yourself a feminist? Not asking for reasons, just say yes or no. And the biggest answer that I got was an I don't know, and that's after they laughed awkwardly and looked at me like I was being crude. I think that feminism leaves a really bad taste in your mouth, and that's because when people hear the word feminist, I think that they think of feminazis, like burning bras and bashing men and prohibition and women's rights and suffrage, but and things like this. And so you see things like this that claim that feminists practice witchcraft and want to kill their babies. And you laugh because that's a joke. Like, that's obviously not true, but but Pat Robertson actually said this and believed this. He is an employee of the government, a chairman of sorts, and a Baptist, and that's something that he believes. And I look at something like this and I laugh and I make it a joke because I have to. In this video, you see a feminist survey being conducted on the streets of New York, and just people's views on this.
So I sent my friend Steve out to interview some men, while I stay in the background pretending to be his assistant. I figure they'll be more comfortable talking to another guy.
What do you think a feminist is?
I think I'm ignorant.
Hey, do you know any women who would call themselves feminists? What do you think feminists are?
Lesbians.
A lesbian.
Yeah. First of all, they got their amendment passed in 1920. Why are they still bitching about female rights?
They're getting everything that we get, and they think they're getting not equal pay and everything, but there are a lot of high top officials and everything. There are women now, so.
Probably militant, angry women trying to get their way in the world.
What I think a feminist is?
Yeah.
I'm not just going with the lesbian thing.
You can silence a woman by calling her a lesbian today. We thought we could get rid of that stuff and say, you know, lesbians are just 2 steps away from any other woman who doesn't want to take orders from a man. We're all lesbians, or we're all anti-man, or we all hate children, which I find quite remarkable. I've been told to my face that we all hate children. When I have a child, I totally hate men. When I'm married for 38 years, and I have friends who are feminists who are like me, and we're told we don't exist.
Would you ever call yourself a feminist?
No, I guess a feminist to me would be like a woman that believes in women's rights, I guess. That's what it is to me.
But you wouldn't identify yourself as one?
No.
And do you think there's a need for feminism?
No, sir, I don't think so. I think I would say very clear that man is the head of a household.
And go after what they want.
Matter of fact, if there's anyone out there, my name is Anthony, and I live in New York, and you can find me here every day.
So it's things like this that make me believe that people don't really know what feminism actually is. And so I just wanted to tell you that, that feminism is just the theory of political, economical, and social equality of all sexes. It's most simply put the equality of human beings. And it really does affect everybody. As mentioned in the video, the man stated that women complain that they don't get equal pay, and then said that that wasn't true, but it is true. To every dollar that a man earns, a woman earns 78 cents. And so activist and theorist Peter Richard Fink went further beyond that and said, instead of thinking that a woman makes 78 cents per man's dollar, think that a man earns $1.28 for every woman's dollar. And he quotes, "It interests me that even the most common, simple measure of gender inequality is firmly based on a male as normative." And yeah, so another way that the absence of feminism affects everybody, especially in women, is in how we're told to dress and look. And so in this picture you see where exactly on someone's hem they're judged. And there's really only one good word up there, and that's proper. That also leads into slut shaming, which is a big unequal thing, because a man that sleeps around is a stud, but a girl that sleeps around is a slut. And that's not okay. Feminism doesn't just include women though, and I believe that men need feminism too, because the idea of masculinity, as shown in this picture, is just as bad as the idea of femininity. And that men are believed that they have to play sports and look really good and be built, and they're not allowed to cry or have emotion. And I was actually really upset the other day because I was looking at my 17 magazine, and on the cover it says, "Does your dude need to man up?" And at first I was outraged. I was like, oh, another article about like your man not being manly enough. But I was really pleasantly surprised to find that it's really just a little quiz about where you stand on the whole thing. And basically at the end it just tells you that men man up by disregarding masculinity and just by being themselves, and that you should accept them for that. Because the standards that you're setting for them are just as ridiculous as the ones that are on you. It also troubles me that men can disregard feminism just so easily, and that the only way to really educate them on it is by including them and saying, well, this has something to do with you too, you know? But I feel like that's the way it goes with everybody. Everyone needs to know what it has to do with them. And feminism truly is about everybody. It's not the man-hating lesbians that everyone paints a picture of. It's equality. There's a movement in which people state why they need feminism on boards or paper that everyone can clearly see. And I think that people need to be able to like pin that back to themselves so that they understand just how involved they can be. So I put together a few images of people with these signs. Just a second. So the signs just state, I need feminism because, and, well, I need feminism because I still remember I came home from school crying one day and telling my mom that I didn't want to be a girl because my friends made fun of me and they made it seem like that was a bad thing. Because I was a huge tomboy, only hung out with the boys, and they would just make fun of me for that. I need feminism because I'm really tired of having to explain to my dad that it's not a jab at his masculinity, that I'm trying to explain to him why his 4 daughters deserve equality and fairness in life. I need feminism because my little sister, who I raised until she was 4, and she has never questioned me before. She's so sweet. The only time she ever questions me is because she wants another popsicle or to stay up past 9. And she looks up at me a couple weeks ago and she says, Nina, how come you're not a girl sometimes? And I laughed and I was like, oh, you're so cute. Like, I'm a girl, you're a girl. Like, mom's a girl, what are you talking about? And she says, no, like, you're not a girl sometimes because sometimes you're not pretty. And it hurt. But not because I really care what I look like, because I can't pinpoint when she figured out that you need to be pretty to be a girl. I need feminism because I just genuinely care about everybody. And I think that you should too.